Shaw's Managing Director, Chris Shaw, is talking today about the impact of the Covid-19 pandemic on IT and social housing. Hi, Chris. We've seen a major disruption in the world for the last few months. Is it fair to say that we've seen seismic shifts in the way that housing associations operate as a result of the pandemic?
We have, yeah. Housing organisations still need to manage their properties and care for their customers, but how they do it and where they're delivering their services from now has changed significantly. Many of the housing organisations we speak won't be returning to the old ways of working, and have really seen some major positives for their business in the effects of the outcome on the way that they work.
So, what would you say has been the most significant shift that you've seen within the sector?
Many housing organisations that we're working with are really assessing now the office space that they have and whether they need as much. There's been a rapid increase in the use of Microsoft Teams, Cisco and WebEx and Zoom for collaboration with their colleagues. We've seen a big uptake in the use of cloud telephony solutions, and they've been rapidly providing their staff with laptops to enable them to work from home. With this shift, many organisations means that the data and systems that they were originally securing at the centre, that's all now at the edge, at the laptops and the devices that they're using, and that they need to make sure that that edge is now secure for the new ways that they're working.
Okay, so quite significant changes then. What's your business found yourselves sort of advising clients on during the pandemic? Has there been a kind of rapid change in IT and digital plans for housing associations?
There has, yeah, in the majority of cases. We found ourselves as busy as ever. Some of the bigger projects might well have been delayed, but there has been this real big push on, enabling their staff to work from home, having access to the collaboration tools to enable them to, work with their colleagues more effectively. Making sure that their staff can serve their customers as effectively as they can in this new distributed work model.
And do you think these changes are just kind of temporary to get us through the pandemic, or do you think we're going to slip back into the old way? And do you think we're going to slip back into the old ways once the crisis subsides, or do you think they're here to stay? These changes, are they permanent? No going back?
I think there's a lot of organisations that, like I said earlier, that they are thinking, do we need these big offices that we have previously? How can we repurpose them to be, more spaces for collaboration when we need to bring people together? Certainly, the old ways of working are not going to be the new ways of working for people once the pandemic is over. Staff have seen a greater work-life balance. People are saying they're getting more done. People are more available to meet with. You're not having to travel miles to come to an office to meet. You can meet more instantly. So, I think it's really going to change the way that people and organisations work in the future. And with that, one of the key challenges for organisations is then how do we effectively manage our staff? Make them still feel part of this big team. But and don't feel isolated. I think they're going to be some of the challenges, definitely, with this.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite an interesting point, isn't it? That it's all well and good from a kind of business point of view, and there are benefits for people from working from home in a kind of decentralized environment. But it's also about looking after their welfare, making sure they sort of feel part of a team, isn't it? And it's not just the IT side of things; it's also the human side of things that's important to remember. We've kind of seen a huge amount of change then crammed into the last 3 or 4 months. What do you think's next for technology in the social housing sector, kind of building on the experiences that we've had recently?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to answer that. I think there's going to be a bigger uptake of conversational voice technologies. So I think we've previously published articles on this, but we see that frontline customer service centre being replaced to a certain extent by conversational chatbot technology. We see, frontline customer service and, repair operatives, the use of augmented reality, enabling them to do the job more effectively. All this relies on having good data to be able to understand your assets, understand your customers well, and we see that being a big shift over the next 5 years, which will enable people to deliver a better service to the customers and manage their properties more effectively.
Okay, interesting times ahead, as well as over the last few months then, by the sounds of it. So thanks very much, Chris. Look forward to talking again soon about how technology is helping to shape the social housing sector.
Thanks very much. Okay.